Welcome into A to Z Sports Prime Time on a Tuesday night. Hope everybody's having a great evening so far. Always enjoy spending a little time together. But as of late, it's not been terribly enjoyable if you are a Tennessee Titans fan. Understanding the three-game losing streak that this football team is now on and trying desperately to get a handle on things and win this division and do themselves a favor to put themselves in a favorable position in the next couple of weeks. So we're going to talk about in-house fixes for the Tennessee Titans and what actually is viable versus not. We will talk about the Chargers. We have not spent much time on them throughout the course of I guess it's early in the week, so we'll turn our attention to the Chargers. And because it is a Tuesday night, we'll have a gone viral video prepared for you. Before we get this thing started, though, need you guys to share this show on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and on Twitch. If you're hanging out on Twitter, please retweet the show. That's in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. If you are on YouTube or Twitch, please subscribe to the channel like Eric Alonzo or William Young. Throw a like on the video and make sure that you tell a friend to do the same. If you are on Facebook Live like Dwayne Holiday or Ryan Fields, you can share now to public. In the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, you can also like the video on Facebook Live if you so desire. We would be grateful for you doing so. And as more of you guys start to trickle in, we'll go ahead and kick this thing up, get rolling on a Tuesday. Welcome into A to Z Sports Prime Time from the Superbook Sports Studios. I'm your host, Buck Rising, and I am proud, as always, to be presented to you by the aforementioned Superbook Sports. They are the best place to go to wager this season, whether you're betting college basketball tonight or the NFL on Thursday through Monday. Superbook.com for terms and conditions. TrueMath Fitness, where you can go to get your weight loss or fitness goals started. Do not wait until the new year. In fact, get your first workout free as a Middle Tennessee resident at TrueMathFitness.com. Two Rivers Ford 2023 model year Fords available to you right now. They'll make sure that you enjoy the car buying process, and they make it fast, easy, and fun. Two Rivers Ford in Mount Juliet or online at tworiversford.com. And the Ashton Real Estate Group of RE/MAX Advantage. Gary Ashton, the Intel edge you need to succeed. Get your dream address without the stress, courtesy of the Ashton team. So, in-house fixes. This has been something that's been debated, right? Because we played for you the clip of Mike Vrabel yesterday. In fact, I think we may. Reed took it out of the lineup. That's not his fault. I had hoped that it might still be in there. But Mike Vrabel talking last night on his radio show about the idea that offensive coordinator Todd Downing would continue to retain his position in the season. And not specific to Todd Downing, but specific to coaching changes. That is not something that they had on the horizon this year. Now, Mike, and we may be able to play that clip for you momentarily, but basically that leaves us all wondering, okay, so in the absence of an outright coaching change in some form or fashion, what can they do to continue to make this thing viable or to make this thing more viable than it currently is? That is the thing that kind of looms over them at this point. Brandon Garcia says there is no quick fix. Well, quick is a relative term, right? That quick is probably difficult to do. And again, by your definition of quick, I think that a lot of people would look around and say, okay, well, by quick, you mean the next game. By quick, you mean tomorrow when the team takes the practice field for the first time as they begin their preparations for their trip out to LA this week. Quick would intimate that you have something that you can do in real time to be able to fix this thing. And beyond, fixing again is a difficult thing to do because right now we're talking about duct tape and Band-Aids, basically, that's kind of holding this thing together. And right now it's not really holding it together, right? We've seen things fray. We've seen the pass rush evaporate. We've seen the offensive line play continue to struggle at this point in ways that are clear and obvious to everybody. In fact, I had For those of you who watch ESPN, Mina Kimes texted me today asking, she's doing a game preview, I assume for NFL Live, but Mina had texted me today about who do I think the Titans are getting back this week, because she's working on this game preview against the Chargers, and also had we had a healthy discussion about a not so healthy offensive line, and particularly about the left tackle situation. But I had said to her, yeah, I really don't envision. I mean, Burks, it sounds like he's at least going to practice, but obviously that's no sure thing. Concussions are specific to the individual, and that's a tough thing to kind of navigate in real time. So to be able to say, okay, I do expect Treylon Burks back, it's probably too early in the week to make any kind of determinations. And as of today, he remains in the protocol. David Long is not coming back until, theoretically, week 18 is the earliest time that he could come back after being placed on injured reserve on Saturday. And then Elijah Molden, who's already come back from IR, has already been placed back on IR. And now you're left looking around with only three injured reserve returning designations left, because you've used one on Burks, Molden, Ola, who just got cut, which is really, really a waste at this point, Racey McMath, and Josh Thompson, the special team safety, leaving you only three. You've used five. You have three left to burn, three players, and a hell of a lot more than three players on injured reserve that you can still theoretically bring back if you so choose. So as we look at the circumstance for the Titans, I think you have to start first and foremost with coaching. Let's tell you guys, though, or let's ask you your Two Rivers Ford take here on this Tuesday evening in the comments on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Did the Jags beat the Titans, or did the Titans beat themselves? That is the question for you on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. We will discuss at length together right after I remind you that Two Rivers Ford is the company that makes the Two Rivers Ford take possible. They have all of the best 2023 model year Fords available for you to test drive right now. They are the best car buying experience humanly possible. They always make it fast, easy, and fun. You can get award-winning customer service and quality American-made Ford vehicles from Two Rivers Ford, and they will offer you not only great prices, because they sell all new non-specialty vehicles below MSRP, but also great financing options starting at an interest rate of 2.9%. Two Rivers Ford in Mount Juliet, or online at tworiversford.com. So, did the Titans beat themselves, or did the Jags do it to them? Danny, or rather Matt S. says, you are a homer if you say that the Titans beat themselves. The Jags were the better team. I've gone back and forth on this, and I don't think any of you would accuse me of being a homer, but it's hard for me to look at that. And the reality of the situation is it's probably somewhere in between, right? Not even to be a fence sitter, but like the Titans literally gave the game away. 4 turnovers, you're going to lose, right? Teams are 67-1 with a +3 turnover differential, the way that the Jags had. Obviously they were +4 in the turnover differential. They didn't turn it over once, and the Titans turned it over 4 times. But with a +3 point differential or more, teams are 67-1, right? They're nearly undefeated. So yes, I do think that the Titans literally giving the game away matters, but also it's incumbent upon the Jags to go out there and capitalize, and they did exactly that. So I think you can probably feel both ways about it, Matt, and not be an outright homer, because the Titans were sloppy. And they did put the Jags in positions to succeed. Now, again, Jacksonville capitalized, which is what better teams do. Wilson Gary says that they did it to themselves. Amar Alaires says Jacksonville will win the division. I don't know about that. They've got the Titans still have an 89% chance to win the division. Now, that all could change very, very quickly. They've still got a couple of weeks left and 2 more AFC South games on the schedule, and a critical AFC matchup coming up in Los Angeles this weekend against the Chargers, obviously, of which I will be in attendance for. So how all of this continues to manifest is one thing, but what do the fixes become for the Titans? And And how does this team kind of get it back on track? MB says, who cares? It's irrelevant. The question is, who is going to get into the playoffs and actually do something? Well, no, I think this is very much relevant. Of course it's relevant. You're trying to diagnose, you're trying to take a little deeper of a look at each of the individual ways in which this football team is failing right now, rather than just say, okay, they turned the ball over. They didn't get turnovers. They didn't sack the quarterback, and they aren't able to pass protect in an efficient manner. The game got out of hand. The defense is not very good right now, and there are things there about that Jacksonville, Philadelphia, and before that, the Bengals, that those three teams have been able to expose in now 3 consecutive games. Tony Coffey says, why couldn't the Titans get T.Y. Hilton? T.Y. Hilton is for what? I just don't. I mean, I don't know if that actually makes a difference for the Cowboys. But like it does, it sucks for Odell Beckham Jr. He spent all this offseason or all this season trying to basically host his own Bachelor television show, and only to be passed over by both the Bills and the Cowboys. And I think last I saw that his health is not in a place where he would be able to really participate until the spring on the ACL recovery. So when you look at the couple of fixes around this team, where do you start? Well, Mike Vrabel was asked about coaching changes last night. You've heard this clip before. You'll likely hear it again. But right now, that's not something that's changing.
Another Twitter question. You said in a recent press conference that you're open to the idea of things that need to be made in terms to improve the team. So where are you currently in the idea of organization changes, coaching changes?
We're not going to make any coaching changes during the season. Those are things that I evaluate at the end of the season. I see what's being taught. I have the luxury of going into each and every room. I hear what's being coached. I hear the details. I hear the design of each and every play. So that's not something that I'm going to be doing right now. But again, we'll evaluate everything at the end of the season, and go from there.
So that's Mike Vrabel on his radio show last night. And so the coaching staff is not going to be, whether you would deem that a quick fix or not, that's not an option. So what else is left on the table? So let's talk about this on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch right after I remind you that A to Z Sports Prime Time is presented by Superbook Sports. Superbook Sports is your place to wager this football season. Also, college basketball, the NHL, is on tonight. You can wager on every major sport in the Superbook Sports app. They'll match your first bet up to $1,000, whether it wins or loses. And they will make sure that you have the opportunity to take the fight to the best odds makers on the strip every time you open your Superbook Sports app. So download the app today. Terms and conditions, go to superbook.com. Gambling problem, call the Tennessee Red Line, 1-800-889-9789. So now we have a situation where, okay, let's take coaching changes off the table. That's not in the cards for this season, right, wrong, or indifferent. So what are the Titans doing to beat themselves that can be corrected? Well, this was something that Chigakonkwo, who looks like he's very much going to be a part of any future solutions, and has steadily seen his snap count increase. Chig was asked this question yesterday at the podium.
Yesterday, and you look at the score and the ugliness that ensued. Can you still look at that game and say we did more to beat ourselves than they did to beat us?
I mean, we completely, beat ourselves in that game. Having 4 turnovers is not gonna win you the game. So this game is about taking care of the football and then getting turnovers. And we didn't do that yesterday. And I feel like we were moving the ball down the field against them many times. We're feeling very comfortable. But at the end of the day, if you turn the ball over 4 times, you're not going to win the football game.
So Chig is referencing the turnovers. And the turnovers are the thing that, honestly, now the last couple of weeks, they haven't done well to avoid it, right? Derek has had 3 fumbles, 2 that were lost in the last 3 games. That's a problem. Now, Derek is not the only one, obviously, but again, he did have 2 fumbles in this past game, and did have the fumble against the Bengals that Treylon Burks did well to recover. So yeah, they are really, it's just as simple as, Okay, can you put yourself in a position to succeed without completely imploding the way that they did? 20 of the Jags' 36 points on Sunday were scored off of turnovers. It's an egregious mistake. They continue to put themselves in positions to get beaten in the last couple of weeks. Those turnovers are a legitimate problem. So, I know I know there are a lot more issues that kind of come into play rather than to say, okay, well, just don't turn the ball over at this point and keep it moving. But, it really does boil down to that. If they play turnover-free football, they're going to have the opportunity to win these games. John Laster says, Buck, have you heard why the Titans signed a quarterback today? What's his name? The dude that was here earlier in the offseason. Well, he was here last year too. What is his name? I'm going blank. Hogan, Kevin Hogan. They signed Kevin Hogan today because Logan Woodside got signed off the practice squad. So if anything happens to their quarterback, they want a quarterback that at least has some familiarity with the system, spent some time with them this offseason. And he's just going to be on the practice squad because Woodside is now the backup in Atlanta because apparently Marcus Mariota just flat up left the team. For those of you who have been following the reporting around that, it's pretty interesting. Sounds like he heard he was going to get benched, went to address a knee situation that Arthur Smith said hadn't been an issue for him all season long and is now currently not around the franchise, which is kind of crazy to think about. Now, I did see a picture of Marcus holding a baby today on the internet. I don't know if he's not around the team right now because he just had his child. And it's rare to see pictures of Marcus in any kind of personal moment ever, but yeah, I don't know what's going on there. So as far as the Titans are concerned, the turnovers, I think, is the most easily correctable situation. But again, when you're working with a left tackle like Dennis Daly and a strip sack like that is possible at any given point, those situations become harder to correct. So let's talk about the Chargers and the matchups that the Titans must win. What do you think will be the biggest challenge the Titans have against LA on Sunday? Let's talk about it together on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and on Twitch. What do you think will be the biggest challenge the Titans have against the Chargers? We will discuss it at length together right after I remind you that A to Z Sports Primetime is made possible by TrueMav Fitness in the Gulch. Conveniently located in the Gulch, downtown Nashville, is where you go. TrueMav Fitness will help you achieve your fitness goals. Their boot camp style classes are my favorite. They break things up so no workout is ever reused or recycled. They focus on different parts of your body every day so you can continue to maintain your habits, build additional healthy habits as you get yourself back into the custom of working out on a regular basis. And they'll make sure that they are pushing you without overexerting you. TrueMavFitness.com for their membership options and for your first workout free. As a Middle Tennessee resident, TrueMav Fitness is where you go. So, as you look at the Chargers and the biggest issues that they pose, what kind of jumps off the page? Well, Justin Herbert played a really, really nice game against the Miami Dolphins this past weekend on Sunday Night Football. He was pretty spectacular in this game. He is also dealing with very poor protection at this point. And now you're talking about a situation where for Justin Herbert, he is going up against a team that is very much struggling to rush the passer.
We are unsure what happened to Buck Rising. He has been removed from the show here. So producer Reed will step in real quick as we are still live here on A to Z Sports Prime Time. So I will go ahead and just step in for just a moment. As a lot of you are saying, he was speaking all that blasphemy, so he has been removed. So we might as well come in here and just talk to you guys a little bit and pick up where he kind of left off. But Mike Vrabel spoke earlier yesterday talking about what exactly was going on and what the Titans will be facing as they go against the Chargers. So let's listen into Vrabel as he talked about what to pay attention to against the Chargers.
Chargers last night, and what are the challenges they present to your defense?
Well, I mean, they throw the football, and they're going to commit to it. They got young quarterback with a live arm and good skill players. Like we'll have to worry about the Chargers and our ability. We got to correct some mistakes here today.
And he is back. We have him back. I just played the Vrabel video, so whatever blasphemy Buck Rising was talking about, he's back, and now we have him. We just played the video about watching out for Justin Herbert and that young offense that they have going for them.
TJ Hines says, I was probably at left tackle tryouts now. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened, but good on producer Reed from coming in with the save. How odd. And listen, this is Mr. Jones says, Buck is the new producer. Apparently, the technical difficulties are rectified. I'm not sure what happened there, but we're back up and rocking. Anyway, good job out of Reed for covering my butt there. All right, so as we look at the different kind of things, yes, Justin Herbert poses the greatest challenge, and this is a situation where the Tennessee Titans are not able to rush the passer. Their secondary is losing one-on-one matchups down the field, and they need to be able to hold up and not allow these explosive plays. Mike Williams is a problem, right? The tight end for them, number 7, is a problem. I think as you look at the different ways that the Chargers can attack you, yes, they are susceptible at this point, but the Titans' inability to get pressure in the last couple of weeks is legitimately causing them problems. So that is the thing that kind of stands most in their way at this point, is they are going up against a very, very talented young quarterback, just as they did against Trevor Lawrence and Justin Herbert, with a lot more refinement and experience to be able to make teams pay. Ryan Fields says it'd be nice to have Autry back for this game. Well, sure, it'd be nice to have Autry back at whatever point Autry is able to get back. His status is up in the air right now. Here's what I'll say. My curiosity around Danico Autry this week obviously is, does he practice? And then if he doesn't practice, because I looked at it as a positive sign that they had not put him on injured reserve. But now, since they only have 3 slots remaining to bring players back off injured reserve, I'm wondering if that's not done. If that is being done, like them not putting Danico on IRs because they don't necessarily have the flexibility to be able to bring him back, and also get David Long back, for example, or Kyle Phillips at whatever point that may materialize. That's still very much up in the air too. We have had no updates on Kyle Phillips and what his availability may be. But I do think that the Danico Autry thing, obviously we'll know a lot more tomorrow when they're on the practice field, and we'll see how these things continue to progress. But I do think that it should be considered that, yes, it is good that Danico Autry is not on injured reserve, but also is it because Danico Autry is going to be available sooner than the 4-game required absence, or is it because they just simply don't have the IR? They don't have enough IR designations to be able to bring him back if they put him on. That's a big issue right now as they try to manage that situation. Can Lawan shoot up and get back out there with a brace on? Still be better than Dennis? I'm just no, that's not happening. Jimmy Darling says, Buck, wasn't they in top at pressure until their last few lost? Who? Wasn't they in top at pressure until their last THERE, last few lost? Okay, so Jimmy, are you asking me about, forgive me, I'm not trying to pick apart your spellings or grammar there, but are you asking me about the Chargers? Are you asking me about the Titans? Because your comment does not make much clear there. But yes, the Titans were as good as anybody when it comes to pressuring people with just four-man fronts, right? Allowing them to drop 7 into coverage. And then Danico Autry got hurt. Jeff's playing on a bum ankle, and they kind of suck now. They're not able to get that pressure at this point. So if you're talking about the Titans, yes, obviously there are some things that have come into play there. All right, let us move forward with a gone viral video and ask you the question on A to Z Sports Prime Time. Name a bigger friendship killer than the LeBron versus Jordan debate. So a bigger friendship killer as far as sports debate goes than LeBron versus Jordan, because I have it's almost like Democrat and Republican, right? I have friends who are no longer friends because of how viscerally they disagree on sports. So what's a bigger sports argument that can end a friendship other than LeBron versus Jordan? We'll talk about this together on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch right after I remind you that the Ashton Real Estate Group of RE/MAX Advantage is the top RE/MAX team, not just in the city of Nashville, not just in the state of Tennessee, not just in the United States of America, but in the world. The Ashton team is number one. Go to GaryAshton.com to get the intel edge you need to succeed, to sell your home without any showings or staging, to find your next home in this current real estate market while you sell your current one for more, and to help you win the buyer battle and cash in on home equity now. Gary Ashton is the official real estate agent of the Nashville Predators and of A to Z Sports Prime Time, and he will help you get your dream address without the stress. So trust the team that your favorite teams trust at GaryAshton.com. So what is the biggest sports argument that will end a friendship beyond Jordan and LeBron? These idiots with the Brady versus Mahomes already, Mayweather versus everybody. Well, Mayweather's problematic for a variety of different reasons. Ali versus Tyson, says Mr. Jones. John Laster says Tannehill versus Willis. It's a really good one. Oh, goodness. Rob Wright says Trump versus the Democrats. Well, we were keeping this mostly to sports, but yes, I would imagine there would be some polarization around that. Barry, most valuable Titans players has made evident recently. Danico Autry 1, Traylon Burks 2, Ryan Tannehill 3. Are you submitting that as a portion for debate, or is that just a statement being made? I do think that's, but I don't know that Traylon Burks is more important than the I think the quarterback should be number one, just by nature of how dependent everything else is on functional quarterback play. But yeah, Danico Autry and Traylon Burks are definitely up there. No, something that was laugh out loud funny this week. It seemed to air on yesterday's episode of Undisputed, a show that has been on the air for quite some time, and I still have not seen a full episode. The only thing that I see is when Skip and Shannon are screaming at each other on the internet, which I think is just kind of how they're designing this thing to do anymore. That is the height of our profession, ladies and gentlemen. $9 million a year for Skip Bayless. Skip, I'm in the Hall of Fame. And the response is, who cares? $9 million a year for that. It's great. Buck defending Downing, says Lamar Daniel. No, listen. I mean, you guys get this at this point. You want Todd Downing fired. Todd Downing's not getting fired. I've given you all the reasons that Todd Downing's not going to get fired, and on the cycle goes. So, like, you can bitch, you can moan about it. We're not gonna cease to be friends. I still love you. You may not love me. But no, it's just, I'm bored of that argument. That argument, there's no argument to be had. They're not firing him in the season. They didn't fire him after he got a DUI. They're not firing him from underperformance. They're not firing him because Derrick Henry's fumbling all over himself in the last 3 weeks. It's just it's not even a debate. It's just, it is what it is. And like I said, you guys can piss and moan about it, but nothing about that is changing for at least, as long as this season continues. We'll see how this thing goes. Okay. It's going to do it for us tonight on the Primetime Show. Thank you for bearing with us. Well done by producer Reed. Thaddeus says, well, we firing you then? No, I have a contract. Well, you could. So I could be fired from both A to Z and 104.5 The Zone because I have 2 contracts with both of those companies, and they are both aligned to expire at the same time. So yes, you could fire me, but it's like John Robinson. I'm still making that money though. No, have a great night, you guys. I appreciate your time. As always, you can try and fire me again tomorrow to no avail. I will still be here, and so will Todd Downing. So God bless and good luck, and enjoy the rest of your Tuesday night. And we will talk to you tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. on the radio show is when we'll get that thing rolling. Mike Giardi, the NFL Network, will be there, and we'll have a great time with you. In the meantime, see you on primetime.
Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. It ain't warm when she goes away. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. And she's always gone too long. Anytime she goes away.